Of course, providing high-quality beef to consumers is the foundation of the cattle business. And in San Antonio next week, you can learn more about improving beef quality and a wide variety of other valuable topics at the 22nd Annual Cattlemen's College. And joining me now to talk more about Cattlemen's College is John Paterson of the National Cattlemen's Beef Association. Dr. Paterson, the lineup of speakers at Cattlemen's College seems to be getting better each and every year. Tell us a little bit about some of the highlights this year.
Phenomenal lineup, 22 classes you can pick from. We're going to talk everything about this hamburger issue. We're going to have live animal demonstrations, thin, moderate, and fat cows. Which kind of animal makes most sense for hamburger? Going to have the Colorado State guys come in. Dr. Smith will be there to lead that. We're going to talk about issues related to the herd, rebuilding the herd. We're going to talk about, bull season is coming up here in March. How do I go about evaluating a good bull? And so Matt Spangler will talk about that. We're going to talk about the water issues in the West with our own Colin Woodall and Dustin Van Loo. Talk about that. One of the questions that so many of our producers are asking about is, should we give the ranch to the kids or should we not? Maybe we ought to sell it and give them the money. But that's a huge issue on our producers' minds. So succession planning is a big issue on that. Export markets, big issue with, we're making so much money on exporting those cattle. So we'll have people from Agri-Beef, Certified Angus Beef, U.S. Meat Export Federation will come in and talk about that. Great lineup, 22 classes.
And it's important to let people know it's not all just classroom experiences. There's some real hands-on demonstrations going on, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. On Tuesday afternoon, we're going to bring into the arena a thin, a moderate, a fat, and a white fat cow. And we're going to talk about how do you evaluate those cows in terms of dressing percent, but what we really want to get at, does it make sense to keep that cow, or should I feed that cow, and what's her value if I put 60 days of feed in that? Going to be a great hands-on class. Oh, by the way, we're going to look at the carcasses of those kind of animals too. So we'll have the live animal and the carcass animal, and you get to see, well, yeah, that makes sense going to restaurant. That makes sense going to hamburger.
That should be really interesting. And tell me about herd expansion. It's on the minds of everybody I talk to. What are we going to learn about herd expansion?
Well, I don't know what to say to you. In the cattle market, we've got the futures and the cash market going opposite directions. So we're bringing in Daryl Peel. Daryl makes sense of this market, the rebuilding the cow herd, and he will give you his opinion. We've got 5 classes. One of the other classes to talk about is we've got the demand. How are we going to meet demand? Pete Anderson. We're going to have to talk about reproduction on these heifers, George Seidel. And as I mentioned to you, we got to pick that good bull here in late February and March, Matt Spangler. So we've got 5 classes to talk about the various components in herd rebuild. And I think the audience is going to really enjoy these speakers.
JP, I've had friends tell me that Cattlemen's College is worth the whole trip to convention. Why do you think it's such a can't-miss event?
I think because we pull together guys you're not going to see in one place. Like I said, 22 classes. You're going to have a hard time deciding which class to go to. And so these guys are nationally renowned, both academics and industry guys that are doing it every day, guys that think about it every day. You won't find that out throughout the rest of the year. NCBA does a great job of pulling these guys into one place and say, let's talk about what's going on in the beef business.
Thanks for your leadership in arranging such an exciting program. I'm looking forward to it myself.
You're more than welcome.
Why not join us next week for the 22nd Annual Cattlemen's College and the rest of the Cattle Industry Convention in San Antonio? Find out more at beefusa.org.